In a world where hustle culture collides with wellness warnings and workplace demands keep evolving, how do we stay sharp without burning out? How do we navigate the endless stream of wellness trends while actually getting results? This is the Work and Wellness Podcast, and I'm your host, Ange Davies. Drawing from my own journey of wins, stumbles, and honest revelations, I'll be bringing you raw, unfiltered conversations with experts and inspiring guests who've been there, lived it, and found a better way. Together, we'll cut through the noise and workshop what it really means to be well in today's workplace. No more choosing between success and sanity. No more sacrificing health for achievement. Whether you're struggling with burnout, searching for purpose, or simply ready to work smarter, not harder, you're in the right place. This is real talk about real solutions for real people. Let's get into it. Hello, friends. Welcome to the show. Today, I am thrilled to have my dear friend, another Ange Cleary, on the show. Ange is a seasoned Australian fashion stylist and style mentor with over 25 years of experience in fashion and beauty. She specialises in empowering women through middle age and above to rediscover their confidence and personal style through bespoke mentoring and many other services. Ange's approach is deeply empathetic, aligning with the physical and emotional transitions that women go through in midlife. And her work extends to workshops, corporate style and website imagery, event styling for things like weddings or presentations, keynote speeches, and contributions in the media. Everything Ange does is aimed at helping women embrace their authentic selves and present confidently in both personal and professional spheres. I am so excited to have you on. Welcome, Ange.
Thank you, Ange. Thank you so much for your time. And to your listeners, thank you so much for sharing your time with me. I appreciate it.
Well, I'm so excited to have you here because I think, I see this a lot, not just in the corporates I work with, but even through the Pilates studio. As women are transitioning through different parts of their lives, they can really struggle with what their style is. And I truly think that this has a very strong link to well-being because when we feel great in ourselves, it contributes to strong mental health as well, amongst other things. But I do think it has a really strong link. But I'd love to start from the beginning. Can you share what inspired you to focus your styling expertise on women in that stage, that midlife and beyond, and then how your own experiences shape that path?
Yeah, sure. And listening to you, Ange, you're so right in everything you said then. And that is what I get from most clients, that they're struggling with the change. I suppose for me, what inspired me was breaking up with myself, I call it, at around about 45, just letting go of old habits, beliefs, previous concepts, programming, even how I'd interact with people, and really setting up those sort of boundaries. I suppose it's trying to be uncomfortable and okay with change through your midlife, but there is a certain wisdom that comes from that, and I kind of reframe that with my clients as it's not a crisis, it's just closure, closure,
Mm.
and then the rebirth of something else. So it's a chance to welcome change, and for many, it's an interesting stage of life. I find they'll have experienced maybe divorce or relationship breakup or health issues, friendship breakups, parents passing, empty nesters, all those
Mm.
list of things which are big changes in life, and it does encourage you to kind of go, well, where to now? What's now? So I suppose I was going through that as well in my life, just that sort of breaking up with the self. And yes, I too noticed so much change within myself as far as social anxiety, or I felt a little
Mm.
bit invisible, or what is my style now? Who am I now that my kids have grown up? Who am I now that perhaps I've changed careers, or that kind of thing? So I'd like to think that I can help reframe my clients' mindset, also their style, fully from top to toe and inside out. It's an inside out job, Ange. It's not just
Mm.
about waking up and thinking, oh, what clothes you choose daily.
Yeah, absolutely. I think I agree with you so much. You know, I love to get dressed as much as you do, and you're probably the most stylish woman I know.
Oh,
Um, so,
really?
so
Oh, that's really
yes,
kind. Thank you.
yes,
That's
you're
really
very
kind.
well placed to be helping people through this. And it's interesting, sort of all those points you make. I actually saw something the other day that it's really only in Western society that we look at middle age and beyond as like a death, whereas in
Yes,
Eastern societies, they look at it as a rebirth into something even more incredible with all of the wisdom you've gained over your life. So I think
absolutely.
that reframe that you do, you know, through everything you do is really important as well. How do you see personal style influencing a woman's self image and confidence, particularly during those middle life transitions?
Sure. Look, but in simple kind of terms, simple math, it's look good, feel good approach.
Mm,
And especially through midlife, accepting your shape, respecting your form,
mm,
that kind of thing. This is where I'm at now, letting go of the past, also letting go of sort of previous decades. And my clients will laugh when I say to them, your clothes have energy. So if you've got things
mm,
hanging there that represented a past you, it's going to kind of sit. So, I'm one to declutter and clean out and that kind of thing. But hanging on to items in life, and just, everything is a relationship. Your relationship with people, your relationship with yourself, your relationship with clothing. Um, and I feel it's interesting. I used to feel like I get nervous that it was a vanity thing. And you know what? I remember we've
mm.
often had these conversations, and where,
Yeah,
especially when I lived in Casuarina, I always go, oh my God, they're going, here she comes with a hair zhuzhed and the lip gloss on
yeah.
and I would almost sink a little bit. And I feel like it's really lovely in that whole self-perception and the rebirth to be able to allow yourself to shine and not say
Mm,
it's about my vanity. It's about my self-preservation. It's how I want to show up. And I used to get a little bit of annoyed with people, and sorry, listeners, if you're one of those, but kind of saying, "Oh, I don't care about that. I just threw this on," or I haven't got time for that. Everyone's got time, Ange.
mm,
Everyone's got time for some self-care and to make
yeah,
an effort. Um, yeah, that's basically it's a maintenance thing. So I,
yeah.
I truly believe everyone's got time.
I agree with you. I mean, we're choosing to wear something anyway. You know what I mean? You've got to choose
Mm.
something out of your wardrobe. You might as well choose something that makes you feel amazing. And I'm similar to you. You know, I live in regional Australia. You know very well where I live, and I just think I don't care if I'm the most overdressed person. I'm just wearing what
Yeah.
makes me feel good and how I want to present myself to the world. And I don't think it's not a vanity thing because it's for
Mm.
no one other than me and how I feel.
Absolutely. I
Yeah.
agree with
So
you 100%.
yeah, I think it's a bit of a reframe there, isn't it? In terms of a professional impact, you know, we've got a lot of people who work in a professional setting who listen to this
Mhm.
podcast. In what ways does presenting yourself well affect your career opportunities or perceptions in the workplace, do you think?
How I put it is like this, Sanj. You and your wardrobe, think of it like your own personal piece of real estate. You're your own
Mm,
personal piece of real estate. How you present yourself, the level of respect you give yourself, what you expect from others, that's all going to show in the way that you present yourself. And there is a certain power in how you do that. And it basically sets people up for how they need to treat you, or
mm,
how, I think everyone can look and feel amazing. I believe absolutely everyone can look and feel amazing. And it's sad, but it's true. But 5 seconds is all it takes for someone
mm,
to basically sum you up. And if you're putting forward your best foot, Ange, like you're truly saying, this is how I show up. This is
Mm,
how I've prepared myself. This is the level of self-care I put into myself. And this is what I expect back
mm,
from you. This is how I want to be treated. So, and it's not, it goes beyond the workplaces as well. So it's just a level of, um, if I see someone, truly put together, to suit your role, to suit the career,
yes.
then
Yeah.
it's kind of just a level of
Yeah.
professionalism. I trust you. You can kind of command if you're in on stage, you're presenting, or you command a level of respect. I think that's the best way to sum it up when we're
Mm,
talking in a in a professional arena, is that you are your own piece of real estate. So maintain it, look after it, make sure it's up to date,
yeah.
all those kind of, small little steps. And it doesn't take a huge budget either. I think that's the
Mm,
um, conception that, oh, I need loads of money to be able to present well. That is absolutely not the case. My clients come with small budgets and big budgets. And I can tell
mm,
you now that um, I can, teach you how to dress well on a small budget and a big budget. And everyone deserves it.
mm.
Everyone deserves that opportunity to
Yeah.
look and feel amazing.
I totally agree with you, Ange, and I agree. It's not about spending a lot of money. One of my favorite places to shop for great basics is Uniqlo, and you get a great t-shirt that
Yes.
lasts so many seasons for $14, but it looks so sharp when paired with other things. But I agree, and it's not about even what you're wearing. Sometimes it's about the way you're wearing it. If you can't even
Hmm.
tuck your shirt in or you can't brush your hair from a
Hmm.
professional setting, I think whether you are amazing at your job or not, unfortunately, the perception could be if you can't do that, then how are you going to be able to deliver this piece of work for me? So
Hmm.
it is
Hmm.
true. It is sort of your real estate. And I read something the other day, and, this might be jarring for people to hear, but they've done a research study and it shows that women in particular who do their hair and wear makeup to work get paid over 20% more on their salary.
Wow, there you go.
Isn't that
And
crazy? And I mean,
yeah,
like it or not, right? Like it or not, whether
yes.
you think it's right or wrong, you've kind of got to play the game. And if you want to be
Hmm.
successful, then I suppose that's what's happening.
Yeah, sure. And a lot of people go, I couldn't be fussed with all of that, or I can be asked for all that. I don't wear makeup. I don't do that. And that's fine. Let's work with ways that you can present yourself
Yes.
well on just a
Yeah.
grooming and hygienic and I care.
Yes.
I care about you. I care the way that you perceive me. Yeah, it's sort of like a two-way street, I suppose.
Yeah. And
But
in
yeah, I
a way
agree
that
with you.
is authentic. Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
agree
And
with you. My mum would say exactly what you said, and it's not what you wear, it's how you wear it. She'd go, put on a slick. I can remember when I would, devastated over some boy or relationship breakup or tears. She would say to me, go put on a pretty dress, slick of lippy, blow dry your hair, and show the world who you are, you know,
Absolutely.
and
There is
that
something about
stuck.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And I think, again, it's not about vanity metrics, but truly about, feeling good in yourself. And when you feel good
Hmm.
in yourself, you project that in whatever arena you're going into as
Hmm.
well. Speaking of that, from an emotional well-being perspective, we've talked about the career side of things, but from an emotional well-being side of things, what's your thoughts on the connection between personal style and your emotional well-being and mental health? How do you feel dressing and putting yourself together can impact that?
I go back to, and sometimes I like to deep dive with groups of women or clients that I've had about previous programming. It plays a huge role in the way that you see yourself, and that is through parenting, grandparents, siblings, friends. So if they have tended to say, "Oh, us shorties can't wear that," or "You can't pull your
Mm.
hair, back off your face." I had a client that she was always told, lucky you're the brains because your sister's the pretty one. But
Oh my gosh.
that's just installed in there. So
Yeah.
it is, it's subliminal programming, Ange. You look in the mirror and
Mm.
it's what that mirror has reflected and that self-talk. all over the years. So once you get to midlife, that is fully ingrained in the memory
Mm,
banks and in your psyche. So to try and undo that can be emotional. It's you
mm,
sometimes you unearth all sorts of things. And I do like to get my clients and stand them in front of the mirror. And what do you see? What's staring back at you? What are the things that you don't like? What are the things that you do like? What are the things that you love? I think,
mm,
um, yeah, and that just goes back to, as I said to you, life is relationships, and just the relationship that you have with yourself is the most important. I also feel like the mental well-being, probably space. So the way, if your wardrobe is cluttered, that will create chaos. So if you've
mm.
got a beautiful sort of flowing space, it does, again, without saying too woo woo, but it is an energy, and it is
Yeah.
just natural that's going to overflow in your life. When you give yourself permission, let go of any preconceived
Mm,
programming, ideas. I think that's when you can, truly radiate your, vitality, when you truly love what you're wearing, as we said
mm.
before, and I feel like that that shows, and then
Yeah.
you sort of will become from invisible to visible, because
Yeah.
that is, if you said to me, what is the key word that many, midlifers, both men and women, is that invisible. I feel invisible. I don't really know who I am anymore. I feel like when you say emotional well-being, it's mainly that programming and
Mm,
deprogramming, that I can wear my hair back. I can wear a pretty
mm.
dress. Just because
Yeah.
I was told my sister is the prettiest, that doesn't mean I can't wear florals or want to be pretty. Um, yeah. Does that make
For
sense?
sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Challenging those beliefs, right? And then I think what you said, I got goosebumps when you said people say they're invisible, because it's really heartbreaking to hear people feeling
Mm,
invisible, because feeling that way, like you're not seen and not heard,
mm,
is really detrimental to mental health.
mm,
And so I think there's a really strong link here that, when you feel like you're showing up and like your best self and you're not invisible anymore, it has a natural
mm.
tie to improving mental health and well-being as well. So I think it's so interconnected. Well, you spoke a little bit about some of the common challenges feeling invisible, but what are some of the more common style challenges women face in midlife, and how do you help people navigate that?
I think people get so stuck, Ange.
Mm,
Like there's this real resistance to change. They get stuck in their wardrobe, stuck in life, stuck in a job. And it's that resistance or fear. I suppose at the end of the
mm,
day, um, every decision or every reaction, when you really peel it back, is probably based on fear, rejection, or insecurity.
mm,
So I feel like, I don't understand when they don't want to allow the growth or change in their life. So wherever you're in your career or your personal life, um, I think there's great opportunities to completely, give yourself a makeover, to
mm.
start, to start afresh, and to start that new era, and find out, discover your hero style. Oh, I don't have a style. This is what I get. Oh, and you've got such great style. Too. You said
Mm.
to me, and so let's just say in the same
Yeah.
way, I'm saying to you as well. And you've got such great style. I don't have style. I don't know what my style is. So I say everyone's got their hero style icon within them. So, and we do tend to put that certain, edge or dominant character or alter ego, I like to call it,
Yeah.
on everything, whether it's sporty, glam, fun,
Mm,
conservative. You'll find you'll tend to put that certain. So if someone's really urban or earthy, they will generally dress in those earthy olive greens,
yeah.
neutrals, beiges, caramels. Someone glam will always like to add a bit of a bold statement earring or a pop of red lip. So, unbeknownst to people, they do have a hero style, and it will be in what inspires them. It'll be,
Mm,
what's around them, whether they love to travel, whether they love to paint, what are their favorite cities. And sometimes you can just unearth what their style is from that. Um, I say a good mood board. You can't go past a good mood board. Get that Pinterest mood board going, and there'll be a theme. There will definitely be a
mm,
theme in what you've saved. And I say when they go, oh, I did what you said. I've made a mood board. But I tend to love lots of things, and I go, that's okay. That's allowed because that's
mm,
different areas of life and where you're going through. We may have been in a corporate role and now we're in a mum role, or now we're in a supporting our parents role, or whatever,
mm.
wherever you are at in life. But I still find a common theme. I'll always find something they gravitate. I think the most common challenge, Ange, would be that I don't have a style.
Mm.
So it's helping them to navigate that, mentoring them to truly find their style and where they're at in life. So meeting where they're at in life and then finding those things that really light them up or make them feel amazing.
Yeah, I think that's great. And I was going to say, how do you help people authentically find their style? But that sounds like it, right? Doing that mood board and just pulling in things that they love,
Hmm.
I guess helps you with your trained eye to go in and find those themes and help them. There's a
Mm.
stylist called Alison Bornstein. I don't know if you've come across her, but she has something called the 3 word process whereby once maybe someone's worked with you to develop your style, you then come up with these 3 words and it helps you to purchase things as you're adding to your wardrobe to make
Mhm.
sure that something is always at least 2 of the 3 words so that you're not buying things that is way out there and you think you like them and then it doesn't pair back with your wardrobe. So,
Mhm.
as an example for me, mine is tailored, casual and elevated. So even though
Mhm.
tailored and casual sound separate, I'm often wearing like a blazer with jeans and then I'll
Yes.
elevate it with an accessory. That's typically the way that I sort of style my outfits. What are your thoughts on an approach like that with those 3 words? Do you think that it is helpful or do you find it restrictive?
No, I think it's very, very helpful. But one thing that I don't like to do with people, like the color analysis, I think it's wonderful. It's great to find out those colors that suit you. But generally, Ange, you can hold a color up to your face and you'll know straight away, do I pop, do I not?
Yeah.
That's my rule of thumb. Hold that
Mm,
color up to your face. Do I pop, do I not? And it'll either
mm,
take away from you or it'll make you feel vital and radiate. But
mm,
um, in midlife, though, you will change your whole tone, your hair color, your skin texture,
mm.
everything will change. Rather than the 3 words, I will generally say, sometimes you see the thing is with you, Angie, you truly do, you always look beautiful. Everyone would know that about you. You've got a very clear, concise idea of your style. They say it's a bit like an entertainer or an athlete. You've either got it or you haven't, but you
Mm.
certainly can learn. I look at
Yeah.
you and I say, she's got it. She knows. And those 3 words for you, perfect. And that's exactly what I look at you, that's what I see. For others, though, listeners that say, actually, I don't know whether I'm tailored or this or that, I
Mm.
say start with a hero piece. You'll have a shoe that you love, or you'll have a belt you love, a great earring, or I love this blouse. I feel great in this color. Thi- Start with that piece, work
Mm.
around it. Don't overcomplicate, don't fight. So don't go, okay, I've got the blouse. Now I'm going to wear a print skirt. Now I'm going to put
Yeah.
on my fancy earrings. That is just, and then that's really overwhelming.
Mm.
Remember what attracts the eye magnifies. So, whether it's a big print or it's, if you want to show off your belt, shoe, do that and then let everything else be a nice synergy and really complement the rest of your
Mm.
outfit. But I like that. There are archetypes in style as well. So,
Mm.
we've all got that archetype in us, and it's kind of like an alter ego. She's bohemian, or she's creative, or,
Yeah.
she's the businesswoman. You tend to gravitate towards those looks. So, and that will be your style. But I find, for the beginner, the hero piece is a really good one because for
Mm.
you, say it's your blazer, right? So when you're showing off your blazer, you like to then streamline everything else. So you'll
Yeah.
streamline your, if you've got a beautiful gold hoop earring, you'll tend to wear your hair back because
Mm,
you want to just show off that gold earring. And it does have that sense of, you know, most people or most women say, I don't need to rock the fashion world. I don't want to be a slave to trends. I don't want to
mm,
be a victim to fashion, but I do want to look polished and I want to look really put together.
yeah.
And I think that that's what I love to get to. That's the goal for me, is being able to see someone say, I'm really confident now in putting outfits together. Chanel said that you should always take something off before you
Yeah.
leave. And
Yes.
that is the rule for me. I'll often look and I go, okay, Ange, I didn't need this earring. You know,
Yeah.
I've got enough going on, you know.
Yeah. No,
Even when
I
I
think
came today, I thought I had a gold necklace and I was like, I've got leopard, I've got gold on, I do not need that, you know.
it's
More is more
good.
is more. It's a bit of an 80s thing, isn't it?
Oh, I think
More
it's
is more is
great.
more. The bigger the
Yeah.
better.
Exactly. But you know what? It's so
Yeah.
nice to hear that even as a stylist, you take a moment and you're like, oh, hold on a minute. I'm going to
Pause.
reassess
Yes.
and pause, you know? So I think that's so good. And, you know, when you say the hero piece, something that I like to do if I'm feeling a bit uninspired or I'm not sure, I will do that. I'll find like a shoe or a belt and then I type into Pinterest like
Mm,
snakeskin belt outfit. And I just
mm.
have a look, and there might be something in there just very quickly. And I'm like, oh, that looks nice. I've got a white t shirt. I've got a black jean. I've got some things that I can put together. And I really like that look, and it feels authentic to me. So I love doing that if I'm lacking a bit of inspiration some days as
Mm.
well. A quick little Pinterest search with the one hero item you've got.
Yeah, I'm a themer too, Ange. Like I theme, and I visualize. I'm a big visualizer, so
Mm,
I think it's good to sometimes theme yourself. Imagine it. You imagine yourself there. Imagine it happening. At the
mm.
moment, there's a lot of, you know, fruit on our clothes and
Yeah.
big motifs and things like that. And it is that, you know, we're all in Saint-Tropez on a holiday, aren't we?
Yeah.
So, but that's all it is. It's just that fantasy. It's visualizing, you
Mm,
know, I often say, what's the look that I want? Where do I imagine myself? And in a corporate workspace, that would be it. I'm commanding the room. I'm
mm.
kicking goals, you know, and I suppose there's nothing better to do that maybe than a lovely, you know, pinstripe suit.
Yeah, I love a
That's
pinstripe
its
suit.
power.
Absolutely. But it's so true, right? Thinking about what you want to channel at the back end of it and how you want people to sort of see you. You mentioned earlier about a lot of the clothes have fruit on them. What are your thoughts about trends and how much people should either sort of buy into trends or leave them by the wayside?
Yeah, I think purely if we're talking midlife, and no,
Yeah.
don't buy it as she sits here with her leopard top on.
Leopard's
No,
not
but
a trend. Leopard is a
yeah,
lifestyle in
totally.
my view.
This is what I say. Leopard is not a trend. It's
It's
not a
not.
trend. I think I said that to myself in the mirror. Oh, you're being a bit victimy and you're talking about style. But no, gone are the days that I would sort of trawl over social
Mm,
media, look at trends. If it's melon, if it's, I will acknowledge it and I will love it and I'll
mm,
go, that's absolutely beautiful. But does it suit me? Does it suit my body? You know, there's a lot of things with cutouts. I mean, everything was gapped and cropped and,
yes.
you know, showing waistlines now. And I'm sorry, but most of, you know, the women that come to me for help, you know, they're coming because their shape's changing and their waists are
Mm,
thickening and everything's changing. And I can't wear cropped. I can't show skin. So definitely falling to trends is a no-no. Um,
mm.
little accents, yes. So, you know, picking up those trends with a beautiful, say if it's forest green, then bring it through in a beautiful forest green nail polish or a little pop
Yes,
of a
great
forest green
advice.
eyeliner or a little forest green accent ring. But don't go to town and buy, oh, you know, by the end of the season,
Yes.
you go, oh my goodness. I've done that with the Bordeaux color, and my CC, my daughter said the other day, "Holy hell, Mum, you've OD'd on that color." Like I really have. Again, Ange, I think that beautiful Bordeaux wine color, though, is not I know it's kind of on point now, but I feel like it's a good classic. It's timeless, that color. So,
Oh, I agree
um,
with you. I actually have a bag that Liam bought me for my 30th birthday. That is that color. That's 9 years ago
yeah,
now. And, I whip it out and I'm like, this is not just because it's on trend. I've had this for nearly
yes,
10 years. So I think
yes,
that's more of a classic. I guess things more like barrel leg jeans or, certain things I think are just interesting. I fell victim to it, Ange. I bought some barrel leg jeans and I tried them on. I
yeah,
returned them immediately
so
because they
totally.
do not suit me. And I was like,
No,
what was I thinking? Just stick with what I know works.
yes, stick with what you know. If I could give you one piece of advice, stick with what you know. And you know what? There's nothing wrong if you find a good pant that fits
Mm,
and you feel fabulous. Buy it in the beige, buy it in the charcoal, buy it in
yeah.
the navy, and buy it in the black. Absolutely overdo it,
Yeah.
because then you've got a staple in four different colors that suits your form, and
Mm,
you're going to feel great. You're going to feel confident, because you get to a point where, yeah, the trends and all of that sort of fall away for things like comfort and
yeah.
versatility and things like that. But yeah, find other ways to bring in trends. But your best bet is to certainly get a workable, wearable wardrobe that's going to intermix for you from AM to PM.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a no-brainer.
I think that's great advice. What is your advice for people? I guess it's no secret at the moment. There's a lot of talk about cost of living. How would you advise people who might have a small budget? Like you said, you've had your clients before. Where are the places that you would advise that they look or things that you advise them on if they've got a small budget? And are there any pieces that you encourage a little bit more spending in and then sort of paring back in others?
Yeah, sure. So I always say there's a top 10 piece capsule wardrobe that every woman needs, and that you'd have them all, Ange. That's a good, a good suit, a great fitting denim jean, a great little LBD that's going to take you from AM to PM. So that means you can put a nice little sandal or a trainer, and you can pop a heel on it and add a beautiful earring for evening. So it might be just a very simple black dress. You can put a blazer over it and a heel and wear it, kitten heel, and wear it to work. Sort of white tee, a boot, a heel, a trainer, a great sort of tote bag. How many have I rattled off then? So there's this top
Yeah.
10 capsule wardrobe. They are your investment pieces.
Mm,
And then, your pretty print blouse or another little tank or other what I call sort of fashion items. You intermix them. I say look, there's no hard and fast rule, but try not to overdo lots of bold, bright prints. There's nothing wrong with
mm,
saying, "Oh, I love that shirt." Great. Buy that blouse, mix it all back with your basics. That's great.
yeah.
But what I so many times in past, when I used to do sort of more one-on-one wardrobe rejuvenation, you'd walk in and there was no flow. We had print dresses with print tops with the print pant, and they wondered why nothing was working. So that's
Mm,
why I've sort of said, if you find a great pant or a great staple, buy it in a couple of colors, because you know what? Then your lovely print blouse is going to work back with, you've got a
yes.
couple of different items to mix and match. Yeah, with that. So, but Suzanne, I think they offer
Mm,
quite they'll always do a few trend pieces for very inexpensive. Even I find Kmart and Target are actually quite
mm,
up to date with
they are.
trends at the
Yep.
moment.
There's some great
I
denim at Kmart and Target at the moment. I've seen some
You will get
incredible
yourself
denim there.
little bomber denim. There's all
Yeah.
about the bomber. I just want to touch on that. Again, that's not for everyone. So,
Mm,
don't fall victim to, oh, it's all about the crop bomber. For someone that isn't so elongated, it will tend to cut you off. But again, there's no hard and fast rule. I don't want anyone listening to think, whether you're short, tall, curvy, whatnot, it's all wonderful.
mm,
There's an outfit for absolutely everyone. And if you say, well, get lost. I love a denim bomber and I'm going to wear it. You know what? You go, girl, you wear it.
Yes, and if you feel
But
happy and great in it,
yes,
then that's
you
great.
feel happen.
Mm,
But like styling a home, and it's generally balance and proportion. That's all it
mm,
is. When you look in the mirror, am I balanced? Am I proportionate?
mm.
All to my frame. That
Yes.
it's it's really not complicated or magic, to be honest. It's just it's simple as that. And
Yeah.
then the whole, do I feel good? Because if I feel good, I look good no matter what.
Mm,
And someone will just radiate that.
yeah, it's
And I
so
think there is
true.
a place for kookiness. There is a place for a bit of fun. And that's where I say it's funny, we've all got I say we've all got three personalities. We've got a work personality, we've got a home and a personal personality, and then we've actually all got a hidden personality. And
Yeah.
it's in that hidden personality that I like to discover. And that's, if I could have, I would have been a singer, I would have been an actress, I would have been
Mm,
a stand-up comedian, I would have been.
yeah.
And when you kind of discover what are those to your person, what are those areas to you, and sometimes in there is the hidden alter ego, in there is the well, it's time to wear something fun. You know, if you love to
Mm,
laugh and you love to be on stage or whatever, that's telling me that you don't mind a little bit of drama in your dressing.
yeah. It's so true,
Yeah.
isn't it? And
So,
finding those
and
things that are good for you, finding,
yeah.
I posted something funny on Instagram the other day. I found this blazer. I don't know if you saw it, Ange, but it had fringing or like down the arms. It was a blazer, like a very plain black, oversized tailored blazer. And then just had black fringing down the arms across the back and down. And I was like, is this too much for Pottsville? I posted it. And everyone's like, no way. You shimmy down that street of Pottsville in that
Oh my
fringed
God,
blazer.
yes. Own it. You've just got to own it. Sometimes I just say own it. There's no measure to it all. I don't like to say anymore. There's rules, as I said, that there's a place for which colors look great on you. And but I never like to box people in. I swear to God, I hate when everyone gets in their boxes and they say I
Mm,
can only fit in this box.
yes.
There's absolutely no rule. And often, stand in front of the mirror and ask the little person in you, as they get sort of pushed and squashed down, what did that little person want to do? What lit up your world back then?
Mm,
Sometimes you can rediscover yourself from things that made you feel really good,
yeah.
when you were little.
And I think we're also multifaceted too, Ange. That's the thing, right? Everyone
Mm,
has so many different interests and elements, so you never want to feel like you're stuck. If there was one
mm.
last piece of advice or a thought or sentiment that you wanted to leave us with today, Ange, what would that be for the audience?
I think as I said, the hero piece in your wardrobe, make time for yourself. You are your brand. So don't
Mm,
forget that. You're your walking, talking brand 24/7, or when you step out of your home. If you're confused by your wardrobe, start with three piles: the keep, the chuck, and the I'm not sure pile.
yeah.
And there'll be so much in that. There'll be so much.
Mm,
And if you're struggling with letting go, then do some deep diving. Ask yourself why. I see so many swing tickets still on clothing hanging
oh,
in wardrobes. And I go, what is going on here? And it is
mm,
generally because I paid $1,000 for that. I'm not going to chuck it
yes.
out, but it's getting no use there. So pay it forward. Let
Yes.
someone else have the joy out of that. So that might be a bit of a salvage pile you've got. I can't
Mm,
wear that anymore, but someone else will find joy in it. So, declutter, edit your wardrobe
mm,
consistently. I think, also just take back your power. Um, a beautiful client of mine, I've been styling her for years, and the very, very first time that I styled her, she's corporate and she just, said, I've got no time for fashion and things like that. And she did a lot of events and that sort of thing. And I remember her, and it was such a compliment, Ange, and it rings true in me. She rang me up and she said, oh my God, I felt so pretty, but I felt powerful. And I
mm,
feel like that is almost like that masculine, feminine energy that
yeah.
we all are chasing. I'm pretty, but I'm power. I mean, pretty just comes way back from like when we were a 5-year-old. Like it's almost like a
Mm,
Cinderella story. We just wanted to be pretty or accepted. And if I'm not
mm,
those things, then where do I box myself into?
mm.
But, she said, I felt feminine, but I still felt powerful. And it's just a perception. So, yeah, I think that everyone deserves to feel amazing and powerful. And just next time that you're looking at yourself in the mirror, just talk to yourself like a really great friend. Like,
Mm,
you've got this, you look amazing.
mm.
Yes, you can wear that. Yeah, you can do that.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I hope that I
Absolutely.
hope that you find that useful,
It's a
and I hope
great
that
last
helps.
sentiment. Absolutely. It's a great last sentiment. And I think, mindset really is everything. And sometimes when we dress ourselves in a certain way, it helps to improve our mindset and the way that we approach
Mm.
things. And, to leave us with give yourself permission to shine, I think is a beautiful note to end on. So thank you, Jen.
And don't be, I have a pool noodle lifeguards scenario in life. So women tend to like mold themselves. They feel like they need to support. How can I bend myself to fit into this situation, support others, keep others afloat? In life now, be a lifeguard. You're still doing those things, but you've
Mm,
got your boundaries. You walk with self assurance. You're observing rather than diving in and keeping everyone else afloat. You're
mm.
standing back and you're saying, I'm the lifeguard of my life. I'm not just being a pool noodle for everyone else.
I love that. Be the lifeguard, not the pool noodle. What,
Yeah, exactly.
what a way to end us on. Thank you so much for your time and all of your wonderful tips today, Ange. It's been amazing having you on.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you so much, Ange. Thank you, everyone.
Thanks for joining me on Work and Wellness. If today's episode resonated with you, remember, someone in your network might need to hear this too. Share it with a colleague or friend who could use these insights. I'd love to keep the conversation going, so find us on Instagram at Mind Your Grit, where we share daily tips and continue these discussions. And if you found value in today's episode, please take time to rate and review the show. It makes such a huge difference and helps other people discover conversations they might really need. Don't forget to hit subscribe so you never miss an episode. Each week, we're building a community of people who believe that success and well-being go hand in hand. You can find the notes, resources, and links from today's episode at mindyourgrit.com. This is Work and Wellness with Ange Davies. Your work matters, your wellness matters, and this is where it all comes together. See you next week.